Commit to an act of courage. Make a difference in your life and in your school.
My act of courage is to tell people how I really feel.
My act of courage is to be myself.
My act of courage is standing up for more people.
I just want to start trying harder in school.
Hey everybody, Joshua here from Youth Frontiers. I'm here to remind you about your Courage Retreat. Let's go back to that day, to the beginning of that day when you woke up and maybe you were thinking, oh great, I get to hear a 5-hour lecture on courage. But the minute you walked in that room, you saw that that wasn't the case at all. Remember, you went through that tunnel and there were high fives all over the place and cheesy thumbs up. And then we started to play some games and all of a sudden people, started dancing and you learned how to do this like weird maybe light bulb dance. What was up with that? But that was awesome. And then we started playing a few games. And the first game we played that game called Show Me the Money, remember? And some of you guys actually won big money. You won a whole $1. And maybe, some traded for hamburger yo-yos and rubber chickens and stuff like that. Oh, then remember that one time when we were in the back and your teacher gave somebody $20 and they came up to the front. Yeah, show me the money. That was awesome. And then, then we played that game, Get Across the Circle, you remember? And we, people got across the circle if that statement was true to them, and they were dancing, people were doing the worm, it was crazy. And then remember that one weird, awkward moment when the person said, get across the circle if you have a secret crush on somebody in this room. Yeah, I remember, I know you were thinking about going across that circle, weren't you? Yeah? Well, anyway, and then, oh my gosh. And then we played a game that was a little more dangerous. Remember? It was a little game we called Mongo Volleyball. And there was whoa! There are Mongos flying all over the, there's one flying right now. Hold on. You gotta wear your protective gear. Oh yeah! You gotta wear your protective gear when you play Mongo Ball. It was crazy. It was nuts. Okay, get rid of that. All right, but then we started, talking a little bit about, what the day was all about. And the goal for that day was to commit to one act of courage that you could live out after the retreat. An act of courage that would help you as an individual, but also affect your entire school. And that is why I'm here today. I'm here to ask you, how is that act of courage going? That one thing that you wrote on that card, are you still living it out? And maybe for some of you, you've totally forgotten about it. And maybe for some of you, you're actually still sitting in that fear. Maybe sitting in that fear thinking, what will they think of me? What will they think of me if I actually live out this courage commitment? And I know often following your heart, acting with courage isn't always easy. Even as an adult, it's sometimes tough for me to act with courage too. But I just want you to know how important it is. When you follow your heart, when you act with courage, it causes that ripple effect that not only impacts you as an individual, but it will ripple effect and affect your whole school. And that's why it's so important. People are counting on you to follow your heart and act with courage. So here's my challenge for you today, is to recommit to whatever you wrote on that card. For some of you, you wrote stand up, that you were going to stand up for those in your school that were being hurt. If that's you, do it. Others of you, maybe you wrote down be you, and that you decided that day that you were going to be you and not the person that maybe your friends think you should be. If that's you, live in that. Others of you, maybe you wrote down that you needed to make a change, that you weren't happy with what you were doing or how you were treating people. If that's you, seriously consider making that change today. Hey guys, I need to get going, but before I do, I just want to thank you for including us in your day. And I also just want to give special props out to all those adults and teachers at your school. They make your school a great place and they really care about you, so treat them well. Thanks again, guys. I gotta go.